what's up, my brothers and sisters in Christ? This is Minister BJ Major, and I welcome you all to the final edition of the Sunday Word Report for the year 2019. And today, we're just going to chill here on the Sunday Word Report. We're going to eat. We're going to talk about 2019, how great of a year this has been, our experiences this year. I'm going to talk about my favorite Sunday Word Report moments. It's going to be a great time. So join me today is two of 6 or 7 of the BJM Ministry members, BJM Ministry staff members here with me today. I got beautifully Yasmin to my left, and to my right I got Miss Kaylin Talbert, and we'll just go, like I said, chat it up about 2019, how 2019 has been. So, you know, to kick it off, Taylor, how has 2019 been for you?
Well, 2019 has started and is definitely going to end with God's grace wonderfully for me. This year I plan on setting some goals aside and being more active in church.
Amen.
Awesome. How about you, Yasmin?
I like those words right there. Words. Excuse me. For me, 2019 started off somewhat rough for me. This was like my pushing season, like my giving birth to my 2020. So it was been very difficult, but now I'm in a place where I've learned how to operate out of my brokenness, and not always have my vision, not always like do things through my past or pain. I've learned how to let go of my pain. I've learned how to not allow my past to dictate my future. So as of 2020, I believe 2020 is my year to flourish and to actually see my blessings and to actually see 2020 in the spiritual realm.
Well, as you all know, this year we kicked off the year. This has definitely been the year of elevation and revival. You know, a lot of people have been rejuvenated, then you have some who a lot of people have been elevated. Both that happened to some people, but you know, for me personally, this has been a year of both revival and elevation for me, because I have been rejuvenated in a lot of ways, and also when it comes to elevation, a lot of things have happened in my life where I have been elevated to a new level. God is taking me higher, and you know, I'm looking forward to 2020. You know, as I look at this new decade about to start, I'm thinking about how we was leaving 2009 over 10 years ago and headed to 2010, and you know, it's just a lot has changed. You know, coming into this decade, I was 18, and now leaving, I'm 28. And you know, it's just, God has been good. He has been good. There'll be some ups, there'll be some downs. There'll be some people that was there with me at the beginning, but now are not here with me now. So I'm about to go through this, you know, go to this new decade. You know, the best is truly yet to come, I believe, for each and every single one of us. I know there have been a lot of editions of the Sunday Word Report this year. We have done some great Sunday Word Reports. My personal favorite is the one that just took place not too long ago about, are you a church goer or are you a Christian? That one was, as you all seen, that was a very, very spirit-filled edition of the Sunday Word Report. I would never forget that one as long as I live. You know, after 17 years, I've seen a lot of things happen. I've seen the Spirit move in a lot of ways, but the way He moved during that taping, it just was incredible. And you know, that goes to show that, you know, great things are just in store to happen, y'all. Great things are about to happen in 2019. So what's one thing y'all probably had, something y'all was holding on to when you came into this decade that you would not be taking with you going into the next decade?
Let me tell you, trying to see how to put this in words. I came in 2019 a little, like, people always see me and they think like I'm confident and like yeah, but when I came in 2019 I wasn't confident. I'm not as confident as I am now in my spirituality. I'm not as bold to operate out of my calling as I am now. When I came in 2019, that was just when God revealed to me what my calling was like towards the end of 2018. And I was questioning God. I'm like, I'm not even on that caliber to even, for you to even have that title on my name, or for you to even find me worthy to even operate or be called by you. So in 2019, it was like me doubting God and me fighting myself a lot and trying to. My deepest concern was like, would I ever be able to operate out of my calling, and how could I ever do it? And I learned that I learned that just walking, just being me is just being me. God showed me how I'm supposed to do it. Like there's no formula to it. If you have God in you, it's just gonna come out naturally. And I also what I'm taking out of 2019 into 2020 is for me to dive deeper into God. I always thought it was like a limit, but as I'm learning, the deeper I go into God, the more knowledge I will have about God. Like I want to date God. I want to know God inside and out. Even though I know I will not ever get to know God that much, but for me, I want my hunger and my thirst for God to never be quenched. So that's what I'm leaving with 2019 with, is a desire to get closer and closer to God, and for us to finally get engaged. That's my desire.
Okay.
Wow, that was a lot to take in. I was, oh, wow.
So I came in 2019 putting others before myself. So this year I learned how to, take time off of work and set, time aside for myself and rest and enjoy life.
Something I noticed this year that I kind of started noticing at the end of 2018, and something I didn't have with me at the beginning of this decade, was I didn't know my worth.
Mm.
And I know some guys may talk about, why are you talking about your worth? Guys, I'm talking about that. Well, truth be told, guys need to talk more about their worth. It's good for a guy to know their worth, and I know my worth.
What do you think from each other's perspective that we have grown in? And what do you think we're leaving in 20? Like, from my perspective, like I would say for you, KK, you have like grown out of your shell. You're more like, and I am loving this, okay? And I would say for BJ, I see that you're walking into your bossness. Like, you're becoming more of a boss and a good leader. So as for y'all, what would y'all say of each other or any of us that you have seen we have grown in?
I'm proud of you finally using your God-given talents. I am.
Thank you.
Because I saw Yasmin for the first time in 2018 at Army Rising here in Augusta. Didn't know her, but I could tell God had something special on her, and now she's a part of the staff. You have grown a lot. Seeing you this year at Army Rising, I could tell it's a totally different Yasmin from last year. You have grown. You say, you got to become more confident. It's just, I could see that coming out, and just to witness that, it's just a blessing to me. And Kaylin, you was with this vlog, you was on this vlog this time last year, on the final vlog for 2018, and you have came a long way since last year. You are breaking out of that shell. You are not the same Kaylin you was at the beginning of 2019. And me personally, I don't feel like the same BJ I was.
You're not.
When I came into 2019. Last year was the first time in some years that I left a certain year and didn't go to the new year carrying like a lot of weights on my shoulder. It's just like I was happy, I was smiling, I was having I was just living life. And now going into 2020, I'm excited because a lot of great things are set to take place. And being the founder and the leader of BJM Ministry, seeing everybody doing this, doing that, growing, and then at church seeing kids doing things and seeing people, it's just a lot of growth is taking place. And just to witness it is incredible. It's one thing to go through stuff yourself, but to see God moving in other people's lives, it's just like, wow. God, you could tell God is real. You can't convince me that He's not real. You can't.
You've grown a lot this year too, BJ, especially like with the Bible studies and you stepping it up more, trying to reach the younger youth in the city and throughout the U.S. and you've been doing illustrations to help us,
right,
actually teach us about the Bible, make us understand, and you being more relatable. this year has really helped me too.
Because it all starts from the head. If the head is not right, then the body will not be right.
And I take it very seriously. Even y'all see me, I joke around when I come on here all the time. But, you know, because I believe in having fun when you're ministering too. But, you know, this is serious business. And, you know, I take it very seriously, you know. And I just feel great to have people around me. Now, y'all know that was one of my prayers in 2017, to have people around me, young people around me at my age, to help me become better in Christ. And that has happened a lot this year. Like, Yasmin, for example. Yasmin, they helped me a lot, you know, when it comes to being the leader here in BJM Ministry. She's continually doing that. Kaylin, you know, is helping me. You know, it's just people around me are helping me be better. Even on my radio show, I got, you know, people ministering them. It's just, it's incredible. I can't put it in words. It's just, God is doing just what He promised He would do. And that's, you know, supply my needs, not just my wants, but my needs, what I need. Stuff that's not going to feel good all the time, but stuff that I need in order to continue this race. And I'm gonna stop because I'm about to go into a sermon with that. But so both of y'all done been on the Sunday Word Report more than once this year. I done told you. Yeah, you done been on 4. And you done been on a lot too. I already done talked about my favorite edition of the Sunday Word Report for 2019. So what has been y'all favorite? Which one? What's y'all absolute favorite?
I love the what was it called? The one where it was like, is it the young people's point of view?
Yeah, young people.
That was my favorite because it helped me. Actually, it really helped me a lot in my spiritual walk. Just me being able to ask y'all questions about like fellowship and stuff like that. Even though I'm not currently in church, I'm still working on myself, and me and God still working on us. It helped me open back up to accepting the church. Where I would walk into a church before I would not. But yeah, that one.
You done been on quite a few too. Which one was your favorite?
I have 2 favorites for this year. So for this year, my first favorite was the side piece vlog.
Oh,
Are you meant to
Lord.
be a side piece? And you know, I know my worth, and I am not supposed to be second to any woman or second in any man's life.
Thank you, Katusia, for that one. You was a great co-host on that one.
That was
God
a good
bless
one.
you.
And also my second favorite was the friendship blog.
Oh,
That
yeah.
opened me up to actually knowing who my real friends are and knowing the real definition of friendship.
Thank you, Yasmin, for coming up. You know, that was my pleasure. It was my pleasure.
And thank BJ for coming with that topic.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that was fun. I didn't think it
Yes.
was good though. To me, because I remember I was asking you after. I was like, I don't think that came off good, but y'all was like, you came
I
off.
was sitting on that couch and I was just getting it, taking everything in.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
that was wonderful. And I'm just looking forward to the Sunday Word Report going forward. It's about to get even more
2019 about to be
real.
lit.
2019.
I mean, 2020 is about to be lit.
Well,
Okay.
you want to stay, girl?
Kickstart for
Keep
Jesus
on-
is
keep
about
on
to
forward.
be lit.
It's a lot about to kick off in January here in BJ Ministries. Kickstart for Jesus 2020 on January 18th. If you're going to be in the Augusta, Georgia area, please make plans to attend this. All the information is in the description below. You ain't going to want to miss Kickstart for Jesus 2020. For the first time ever, a live taping in front of an audience will take place at Kickstart for Jesus for the Sunday Word Report. That's going to happen at Kickstart. The theme of the discussion is New Year, same God, no more excuses. Y'all are not going to miss it. Then, plus, y'all will be seeing a lot of new faces here on the Sunday Word Report. Not just staff members, not just other co-hosts, but what I'm going to do next year, I'm going to open up the Sunday Word Report for youth. You're going to be seeing more youth next year. You're going to be seeing different scenery. We're going to be in different places in 2020. You know, we are taking this to the streets, basically, in a way, you know. Because I feel that at one point, we're going to be out, and someone's going to come by and say, what y'all doing? And someone's going to be blessed. I feel that in my spirit. So y'all keep that in mind. So when we come back next year for the last vlog of 2020,
That's dope. Okay.
I
Prophesy.
I feel that. I feel that. You know, something's gonna go down here on the Sunday Word Report. Like I said, my favorite one was the one we just did. Are you a church member? Are you a church goer? Christian? I can't get over that one. You know, the spirit move.
That was fun. The Kanye West part was my favorite part.
Y'all
I
went
learned
in.
something. I learned.
Speaking about that, I'm gonna say something about that since we're talking about 2019 and review. You know, of course, you know some stuff has been said about himself, but just think of it like this. It's just the way I look at it. Okay, we all are a work in progress. Change doesn't happen overnight. You know, it's a work in progress. God is, you know, if God, like I said, if He's doing something underhanded evil, God will expose. But at the same time, it's still a molding and shaping process. Our entire life here on this earth, it's a molding and shaping process. God is working on him. And you know, you just never know what he's going through in his own personal walk with Christ. So pray for him. And you know, if you believe that he's not really, truly, you know, doing things God's way, pray that God convict him. I mean, Christians, we just gotta pray for him. You know, we could talk about this and that, but we just gotta pray. And that's just for anybody who has decided to make that decision to follow Christ. You know, it's just a lot that happened, you know, this year. You know, a lot of...
What was your highs and lows of this year?
Oh, goodness, Lord. Geez, I gotta choose one?
Like, when did it hit you that, oh my gosh, I'm actually making it through this year? God, you're doing something.
Let me see. When I had my first out-of-state trip.
Oh, wow.
In March, and I'm gonna just say this, and then I'm gonna pass it on to y'all. My highest, it was that because I was like, wow, I've always. Well, it was actually two. It's tied too. When I was in Virginia at the beach, it was like, wow, I'm out of state. I'm not in Georgia. You know, I'm not in Augusta. You know, this is something I always want to do. I always talk about. And not only that, y'all remember the vlog, the Palm Sunday vlog. You know. I did from Virginia Beach. That was my first ever out-of-state, you know, trip. And, you know, I'm like, wow, this actually happened. Then I was able to share that with someone I care about. And, you know, it just blew my mind. I'm like, wow, this year is, you know, great. And then my second high, it's still tied together with my first one, was my birthday. My 28th birthday. You know, I had my dream trip to have a birthday celebrated in Atlanta, and with other people I met through a prayer line that I've been communicating with over the phone for the past 3 years. I finally, you know, I told them one day I'm gonna come to Atlanta and we're gonna have a dinner. Didn't know it was gonna be my birthday dinner, but you know, to see them and just talk and you know, just talking about the prayer line, what happened when we was on the prayer, it just, those my two high moments. Like, wow, God, you're working. You know. Not only that, you're expanding my ministry. You know, you showing me that I got even more stuff to do. It's not locally no more. It's going out into like different cities, and now it's out of state. You know, God is preparing the way, and those are my two high moments. My lows, it's only one low moment I say really shook me was when my uncle suddenly passed away. He got sick in June, was in the hospital most of June, and he passed in July. And you know, he was the one that took me to church, dropped me off at church every Sunday, and I'll never forget, every Sunday he always said, pray for the family because we sure need it. And you know, I still haven't really agreed though, because it's just a shocker. Just, you know, one Sunday he's taking me to church, the next Sunday he's in the hospital, and didn't know that last Sunday he took me to church was gonna be the last Sunday, you know, he ever take me. You know, now it's just.
Well, this year my lowest point in 2019 was I brought this new year in with my family divided, and I'm a family-oriented person. So what I did was I just kept praying. I went to a friend. He said, it'll be all right. You know, God's going to bring your family back together. So I knew God was real when he did bring my family back together. Mother's Day, we all met at my grandma's house all at once, and we squashed everything. And from that point on, we was just together like nothing ever happened. And then my highest points was that this year I actually got the chance to spend almost the whole year with someone special. You know, someone who didn't fold on me, you know, has always been by my side. Anything, and he's been very supportive. So I'm happy.
You got a man?
Yeah, girl. You got a
yes.
girl. Okay.
So I'm happy God sent that special someone into my life, and he's also helped me grow closer to Christ as well.
Better hold on to him.
Yes.
Hold on to him.
And then, my second one is that, I love cheesecake. And, this year, I was able to visit the Cheesecake Factory in Atlanta. More than one time.
Girl, bye.
Yes.
What?
That's real. That's something.
Go out the door.
Well, you asked the question, she could gave an answer, so.
I am here for it.
Thank you.
Yes, girl, yes.
Y'all pray for me. My staff is very energetic and different. Lord Jesus.
For me, my lowest of this year was because I'm a student, so I break things by semesters. So, last semester, I don't know what month it was, but I just know it was like my last semester. And it was really, I don't know what it was that brought me to like the darkest place of like, it just made me just not want to be on this earth anymore. I can't remember what it was, but it was just like a add up of having to adulting. Just an add up of all of that, plus me trying to deal with like, I feel like this year is when it hit me that I was molested as a child. Like things happen to you and you don't know the term for it, you just push it back. So it hit me last semester that's what happened to me. And then I finally was able to confront the person who did it. And yeah, so that it was like and then I lost a close friend of mine to suicidal. We weren't best friends, but we were like friends and schoolmates and stuff like that. And it was just like an add up of things. So I'm grateful that I'm able to be on this earth, and I'm grateful that I am where I am now. Mm-hmm. My high of this year was it started November 3rd to be precise, when it hit me that like I'm actually in school, I'm actually thriving, I'm actually living, like, because when I was 18 I was kicked out by my biological father, so I had to like fend for myself, and then I got engaged and got my first apartment. That didn't work out, so it's been like a up and down thing for me since I was born. It's just been like it has never been a good moment in my life since I've been born. So I feel like now that I finally get control of my own life and I'm able to like I'm able to live my life how I want to, according to the Bible. It's just been a really good thing for me. I've been able to face my childhood traumas. I've been able to release things that I've been holding on to, and memories of things that I had hidden that I didn't know I had. So God has been working on me, and I'm finally at a peaceful place, and my mind is at peace, my heart is at peace, and it's just like this. I feel like right now is the highest of my whole year.
That's good.
Yeah. It's just, I'm leaving a lot of stuff in 2019 and 2018. Everything that has happened in this decade, I'm just leaving it behind. And I think everybody here could agree with me. They leaving, a lot of stuff in the behind too. If you haven't healed, by the time you see this, you still got a little more time to heal. At least start your healing process. Don't go into 2020 holding on to stuff that you got no business holding on to. Man, this has been an interesting year. It's been
It really has.
It's been, like I said, I'm not saying it's been a good year, bad year, it's just been interesting. It's been a very revealing year. God has shown a lot. I believe in all of our lives, shown us stuff. And some stuff, I ain't gonna lie, he done shown me, to freak me out. Like, God, I'm just speechless. Like, the stuff God has shown me, stuff that, nobody close to me even knows, because that's between me and God. I'm not going to say nothing until, it comes to pass. But, I'm like, God, okay, I go with the flow. But it freaking me out, I ain't going to lie. It's just like, the stuff he done showed me, I'm like, oh, goodness. See, that's one thing. When you have a prayer life and you close to God, he'll just show you stuff out the blue, like, and, you just gotta make sure you as close to God as you can be, because people ain't talking about it enough. Jesus is coming back sooner than you think, and I'd rather be ready than unprepared.
I'm telling you.
You know,
Facts.
one thing that we're going to definitely talk about again, I don't talk about it a few times on the Sunday Word Report. We're going to talk about the rapture again at the end time. We talked about that twice. Shout out to Kaylee's Hair. She done co-hosted with me on both of those additional Sunday Word Report. But that's something that's going to be talked about because here's how you should look at it. If you truly are saved, you don't got nothing to be scared about. But it's our duty to tell the world about Jesus, that he's coming back. And, you know, God has blessed us to see a whole nother decade. You remember when the 2000s came in, Y2K, everybody thought the world was going to end. Still here. 2010, you know, was about to come in. You know, people were saying stuff. We still here. Now 2020 about to come in. We still here. The clock is still ticking. God's grace and mercy is still covering us. He's still giving us time. So the question is, what are you going to do to make sure you get as close as you can to Jesus Christ?
Period.
I mean, and that kind of goes into what we're going to talk about at Kickstart for Jesus. You know, New Year, saying God, no more excuses. You know, start with the excuses. Excuses ain't going to get you nowhere. A few years ago, my old blog series, I talked about at the beginning of the year, back in, I believe, 2015. Enough is enough. Something's got to change. Something's got to change. Either you got to make the dip, you got to say, okay, something got to change, or it's going to be too late. And, you know, I mean, it's a terrible thing to live in hell, then die and go to hell.
And it's terrible if you know to do right and you're doing wrong. That's even worse. Now, what would you call, okay, so like, since you all about to go into the new year, what would you title this year, or what would you title next year?
Oh, let me see.
I'm going to start because I already know God reveals
Go
to me.
ahead, girl.
For me, it started last year. No, actually it started 2017. Yeah, it started 2017. Where God started revealing to me towards the end of the year, he would tell me like the journey that I'm about to go on. So I'll have a title for it. 2017, it was Year of Recovery. And then this year was Journey to Serenity. And next year for me is going to be my journey to getting deeper into God. So the title of it will be Going Deeper in the Water.
Okay.
You know how Jesus called Peter to walk on the water. Yeah. So.
Don't take your eyes off of Jesus. Keep your
Right.
eyes on Jesus.
And I feel like this year is gonna bring all of those journeys that I've been through into a full circle. Because if I'm going deeper into God, through that I will recover the things that I've lost, my territories, and through that I'll also find peace. So it's like a 180. I'm excited.
I'm like, for me, I don't actually have a title for this year or next year, but I do know the things that, you know, that I need to do.
So he's revealed it to you already.
Like I said, revival, elevation has taken place. That's the thing. That was the focus from BJ and Ministry. But for me personally, restoration for 2019. One prayer that I had for a while was, I really want to be that little boy that, you know, used to be on fire for Christ back when this ministry first started. And I feel like I have reached that point, but at the same time, I have matured so much at the same time. You know, it's the old me, but at the same time, got a lot of new, mature me mixed in there. You know, so restoration has taken place this year. You know, I feel like I said, revived and rejuvenated. And for 2020, to sum it up, honestly, it's more of a phrase than a actual word. You know, I done said this phrase so many times. Matter of fact, 2017, the title of the blog for that final blog of 2017 was this phrase, and it was, you know, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Amen.
You know, so because there's a lot of things that are happening that I've only done prayed about, and you know, things that, you know, I've always talked about happening, but now it's actually happening. Going into next year and putting things into action, it's like, wow, I truly ain't seen nothing yet, you know.
Tell me, God is he working surprises. So one last thing, if you could look at your younger self,
Oh goodness.
as of right now, what would you tell your younger self?
Run! I'm just playing.
What?
No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Girl, I say, girl, handle your business and don't stop pursuing God.
Oh.
Well, this one, me, stop caring about what people think or say and do what you know you gotta do when it comes to, your calling, when it comes to, preaching. Because that's why I was, a lot of things that held me back all those years. I wasn't really, focused like I should. I was worried about what this person gonna say and think,
Right.
and, trying to fit in, trying to be in the in crowd, and it wasn't meant to be. It still ain't meant to be, I accept being the oddball to this day.
For me, if I'm looking like at my younger self in Africa, I would say trust the process. I'm still working on the trust the process thing now, but I have learned that faith. Oh, let me help you out. I feel like this could go towards the thing that we're about to do for Kickstart, the excuses stuff. I feel like as a church community, people always, the church community always want to make you feel like you have to have 100% of faith at all times, and it is wrong to not stand on faith no time. Like I believe that, like when Jesus was in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he was about to, and he was saying, Lord, take this cup from me. That was him showing doubt. But then he said, but if this is your will. So if Jesus himself had doubt in that little glimpse of moment, who are we humans not to have doubt? And I feel like it's unfair for a church to say that just stand on faith unwaveringly. Like, we're humans. We have our default setting is not what it used to be. Like, we're spiritual beings trying to live in a human in the world. So for me, what I've learned is, like, if I have like 51% of faith, just as long as that 1% that I wake up and I'm like, I'm not operating out of fear. I'm gonna choose to operate out of fear. I'm gonna choose to operate out of faith. 51%, God can do something with that. He said just have faith of a mustard seed. That doesn't mean you have to have 100% of faith, because he knows we're humans. We're not going to always just be like, Jesus, yes. Like, yeah. So for me, I would look at myself and I would tell myself, it's okay. It's okay to be afraid sometimes, but also do not allow your fears to overcome you. You have a mighty God he's the same God that provided for you before, he's the same God that's going to provide for you now. If you don't stand on...
And another thing they say too about, you shouldn't get angry, but the Bible says...
Jesus got angry when he came to that church. He started selling stuff.
The Bible says, anger gonna happen, but don't let your anger lead you to do something you got no business doing. Because, we gonna get angry. We gonna lack faith, at times, but at the same time, we gotta be reminded, like how Jesus said, but not my will, but your will be done. See, even though we have those moments where we lack something, we gotta remember at the end of the day, God is still God. And Lord, I'm gonna let you, I'm still gonna trust in you and believe in you, but I'm just gonna be real. I'm having some doubts, I'm lacking, just help me get through this.
When God speaks to you, right, he gives you a word. But you, as a person, that you just don't see how that's gonna happen. How do you
you gotta finish the scene so I know how to answer the question.
How do you what do you do? Like he says this is gonna happen, but as of like present day, you're just like, God, I'm seeing A. I don't see how you see this F, like, or Z. I don't see it. Because, like, how do you do you get my question? Can you okay, so answer the question.
It ain't meant for me to understand right away.
Because you're not going to understand it right away.
Because, like, my radio show, God told me years ago I was going to have my own radio show. And that was like when I was a kid, and now I'm a young adult. It happened. It wasn't meant for me to understand how it was going to happen back then. It wasn't even meant for me to understand when, I had this opportunity to come to have my own radio show.
So why tell you if you know you're not going to understand in that moment?
God has his way of doing things. God does everything for a reason. And we don't know why. I don't know why he would tell me something it's still gonna be years. Right. And but it's to the point. This is my personal relationship with God. When he tells me something, and I don't understand how it's gonna happen, I don't try to question him. I just know it's a reason behind it, and I may, maybe I don't see that reason right now, but with the radio situation, it was just like, looking back on it now, it was like giving me hope that, though you going through this right now, I still have a plan for you, as long as just continue to do what I want you to do. it just, that's my personal testimony. It just to give me hope, even though for years, you know, the answer was like, for example, I'm gonna give this little illustration. A lot of people are bound down in chains of depression, anxiety, stuff from the past, doubt a lot of stuff, and we will say, God, please break me, you know, set me free. Lord, break the chains. Do this, Lord. Just I gotta get out of here. But in our reality, the key to unlock the chains is in our hand. God has already given the answer. It just, we are so caught up in what we in and trying to figure out stuff we got no business trying to figure out that moment, to the point we miss that the key to unlock the chains is right there in our hand. God has already given the answer. So looking back at, you know, why would God tell me something that didn't come to pass till years later? That was to remind me that I have a plan for you. Don't worry about being different or, you know, trying to fit in. Don't worry about stuff. You just do what I want you to do. And, you know, I was just focused on all the wrong things, trying to still do what I want to do instead of really being focused on what God wanted to do. And I didn't realize all that until now, where I'm older. I'm like, wow, I wish I would, you know, saw that. But then all I had to do was just really put my whole focus on God. And the solution was always right there, you know. Why am I worried about what somebody's saying about me, think about me? Why I'm worried about how I dress, or worried about what this girl thinks of me and that? And 9 times, let me tell y'all something. All the people I was trying to impress now, I ain't got no contact
at all.
Got no contact with them. Don't talk to them.
Yes.
Don't even really run to them in public. It's just like you trying to impress people that's not gonna even be in your life
10 years from now.
So, you know, it just, I don't try to, you know, figure things out right away, even though I ain't gonna lie, we human. I be like, but still, God, what is it? But, you know, it's just one of those things where it's gonna be revealed when it's supposed to be revealed. You know, God, but the thing about it, God's word don't come back void. Once he says something, that settles it. It's gonna happen. But all we gotta do is just stay, you know, stay the course, and, you know, just continually having a relationship with him. And things gonna be revealed in his own time, in his own way. Because like you say, Jesus said, not my will, but your will be done. God's will. We not gonna understand God's will.
Because our mind can't comprehend.
Yeah. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. God sees things not only in the present, but the future. Way into the future. He sees stuff from our children. He knows, though. He knows because he's God. You know, we just got to remember to just do what we know to do. And just to leave his job.
He created you.
Yeah.
You know where. He knew exactly why he created you. He knew exactly what you're gonna need. You need to go through to get to where he's taking you. And maybe, okay, I think when you was answering the question, it kind of gave me an answer. He feels like you're gonna. Okay, so maybe what you're going when God spoke to you and told you whatever he said to you, maybe he feel like you're gonna need that later on because it's gonna give you. You're gonna go through so much turmoil. So much back in that you're gonna need that one good thing to remind you, hey, I got a plan for you. Keep pushing and keep going through it because the dark will not last forever. Light will always shine through.
And that does help.
Yeah.
It's like an encouragement.
Right. Y'all better come out here.
Because I had to go I went through really hell to get to where I'm at with, you know, with this ministry, the pointing, the picking, the laughing. You know, your voice sounds squeaky, you know, this and that. I endure a lot. You can laugh at it now. I can laugh at it now. You know, I went through that. I mean, back then it wasn't funny because I was serious, but, you know, it just, I really, like, went through, you know, hell, you know. But it was all worth it, you know, because it just, like.
It builds you.
All the, you know, you can't tell me God hasn't had his hand on me in this ministry, you know, this ministry.
I am telling you.
It just, who could say now, I want y'all, the reason I go, you know, I'm so, like, caught up on this ministry is because, you know, this ministry has been consistent 17 years straight without a break. You know, and through all the stuff I personally been through, God had his hands on this ministry. God's recorded, AWP Work in Progress, now BJM ministry. He had his hand on this ministry the whole time. He had a plan. Souls are getting saved. Souls have been saved over the years. You know, people have been touched, ministered to, you know.
You know the funny thing is?
Yeah.
Well, it's not really funny. But when you said that, it reminded me that I was supposed to die 3 times. Like, when I was born, I was supposed to have been killed because of how I was conceived. Like a normal, because my mom was raped. So normally, a person wouldn't keep that pregnancy. The second time, I got into like a head-on collision as a child on a bike with a 18-wheeler. and like my head was split open.
Oh wow.
The third one was when I almost killed myself. And I just feel like through all of that, like, if there's no God, like, if there's no such thing as a God, like, I don't understand how I will be here. Like, I would have lost my mind a long time ago. And that just shows, it just shows how any and everybody who's still alive in this moment, 'cause people have died this year. Everybody who came into 2019 didn't make it to 2019. And just like everybody who's going to go into 2020 is not going to make it out 2020. I pray to God that we all make it to 2021. But we never know the will of God. Tomorrow isn't promised for anybody. But I feel like everybody who's still alive, there's a purpose and a mission for each and every one of us. And if you all as a Christian body, Christ's body, can come together and like operate out of like the one mission of like being fishers of men, like the world will be shaken up, because Christianity is the #1 religion worldwide. And even though people want to talk about God like that, the Bible is the #1 selling book anywhere to this day. And I just feel like as Christians, we think that like we're just serving to such a minute God, or such a God that He's not moving. But God is operating. He may not operate when we want Him to operate. He may not operate the way we want Him to operate. Because then if He operates the way we want Him to operate, then He will be stuck to a formula. And now God, He's not a God of one way. He's not a, like, if you put Him into like one box, then that means like God is not really doing it. Whatever, if I feel like if I pray to God and I fast to God, I'm gonna get what I want. Then every single time I need something, I'm just praying fast. That's not really God. That's just me doing a ritual, or like me just. That's just me. That's not. There's no way that other people outside of us can see the glory of God through just a formula. And I feel like that's what God is trying to do. He's trying to open our minds to like expect different things from me. I'm not just the same God. Like, I've been alive for millions of years. He gets bored. He's not going to do the same thing all the time. Just like you don't like somebody doing the same thing to you all the time. You get bored. So, yeah. I don't know where I was going, but that's what the Holy Spirit kind of...
You're right, though. Because if you pray and fast one night and you get what you want, you pray and fast the next, God's not going to give it to you.
Right.
Expect something different. He'll give you at a different time.
Right.
So that way you don't expect it every time you pray and fast.
Right.
I think people get too caught up in the rituals and routine, they miss the point. You know, because I hear a lot of people say they do this, and first of all, if you bragging about it, something ain't right. Because I don't brag about my prayer life. You know, my prayer life is my lifestyle.
Oh, I brag about it. It's not in a bad way.
Yeah,
I brag about it and like, look where God has brought me from.
Yeah, that type of bragging, yeah. You know, it's different. You know, so I should rephrase that. You know, that type of bragging, you know, it's good.
Don't
like,
exalt yourself.
There we go. Yes, you know, and the Bible talks about that, I believe. So you know, not doing that. Yeah,
he will humble you real quick.
Girl,
sit down. I think God will. Girl, sit down.
I remember one of my quotes from some years ago. I posted online. It's like, if you're not humble, you're gonna get crumbled. You know, you don't want to get crumbled, so humble yourself. If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves, pray, seek His face, turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and heal their land. So, you know, you gotta humble yourself.
But it's easy to get carried away in the Christian walk, though. When you feel like I am on fire, like God is doing everything I asked Him to do. Who are you to be next to me? It's like, so you get so boastful.
Yeah.
Like,
and that happens. That really does. You gotta check your own self.
You really, I had to check myself a lot, okay?
okay, we know God working on you. He working on me too.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, you still over there? I'm on level 2. Come, like, yo, you
and
get...
God be up in heaven like... God be in heaven like...
I gotta push her back one more notch. Like, I was ready to give you a blessing, but now I gotta hold it back. Because I know I'm just gonna explode if
now
I give
you
it to
blocking it.
Right. You know, oh, that just touched somebody right there.
Okay, but before I go into the invitation, I do want to give a very special shout out to the Unashamed Network for having the Sunday Word Report on their network. You know, for those who don't know, over the past couple of months, the Sunday Word Report has been on the Unashamed Network. And if you're watching this on YouTube or the Unashamed Network, thank you so much for checking out the Sunday Word Report this year. Thank you to all the staff of the Unashamed Network, and I'm looking forward to, you know, doing more editions of the Sunday Word Report on YouTube and on the Unashamed Network. And before we close out today's edition, you know, of course, we definitely don't want you to leave no time leaving a vlog without accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. But this time, We are about to leave 2019 and head into a new year, new decade. Do not leave this edition of Sunday Word Report. You have not accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. You know, a lot has been said today. This has been a very different edition of the Sunday Word Report. It's just like we just were basically, you know, extra laid back, extra chill.
Thanks for the food, y'all.
Yeah. And we ate and stuff. So if y'all see me eating, I wasn't trying to be rude, but a brother was hungry. But it's just... This year has been great, and my prayer always, every time we do an edition of Sunday Word Report, do anything, is for someone to get saved. You know, I think a lot of people don't want to get saved because they think it's boring. I mean, to me, you know, being saved makes life even more exciting and fun because, truth be told, if I tune off of this edition of Sunday Word Report, this is my last edition. I was to drop dead right now. One thing
I will be okay with that.
Exactly, because I'm going to heaven.
You know?
I'm in a win-win situation. If God let me still be here, it's good. If I go home and be with him, it's still good. Because at the end of the day, we all going to have to leave here someday and go spend eternity somewhere. But the question is, where are you going?
Mm-hmm.
There is a heaven, there is a hell. Heaven is real, and hell is hot and real. So, if I was you, I would make that decision right now. What decision you want to make? I'm not trying to scare you into making a decision, but I want you to realize that this life is temporary. You know, don't put your hopes and faith into something temporary. You know, this world is on it's on like sinking sand. The foundation is sinking sand. It's temporary. It's gonna it's gonna pass away one day. But the foundation of Jesus Christ is eternal, and through Him you have life. You have everything you need. So today, make that decision. Confess your sins. Turn away from your sins and give your life to Jesus Christ. Today, when you hear His voice, harden not your heart, but let Jesus Christ come in and change your life around. You know, God loved you so much, He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believe Him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Don't worry about what people are going to say and think about you. Don't worry about this, don't worry about that, because listen here, if you confess your sins, God is faithful and just to forgive you and to cleanse you from all unrighteousness. You know, that's how good God is, and that's what He can do for you. He has given this precious gift to His Word, Jesus Christ. As you see, you know, it's Christmas time. We celebrated His birth, but you know, don't miss out on the greatness of His birth, because His birth is very important and special, because this gift was given to the Word so the Word can be saved from sin. So, give Jesus your life. Don't go into 2020 and you are not saved, because as of this taping, you know, last night, you know, 2 young men were killed, you know, shot. And that's just 2 that happened this year. There's a lot been happening over the past couple of weeks, months. It's been insane. You know, give Jesus your life. You know, let Him use you. Let Him use you to be the light in your community, in your family, in the workplace. Let Him use you. Because at the end of the day, we doing all this for God's glory. Not about me. Not about Caitlin. It's about the glory of God. So give Him your life. And if you ever need advice, help, prayer, you know, all my information is on the screen. You know, you can contact, you know, any one of us. You know, if you want to get in contact with any of them or the staff, you know, just send me a message. I'll get you in contact with them or whatever. But this is a time to get real and get serious. I remember back in 2007, I did a message called "It's Time to Get Serious." And you know, the same things I said back in 2007, I'm saying now. It's just time to get real, get serious. Time waits on no one. So I want to thank both of you for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, and I'm looking forward to the first vlog of 2020. I'm about to say 18, now I'm about to say 19. I got used to saying 2020. So I don't know what we're going to talk about that first vlog or who's going to be on here, but get ready. And also don't forget, Kickstart for Jesus, Saturday, January 18th, 2020, 2 o'clock p.m. Miracles Unlimited Ministries in Augusta, Georgia. This is one Kickstart event you are not going to want to miss. Kick off your year with Jesus Christ. So with that being said, this is Minister BJ Major, beautifully Yasmin, Kaylin Talbert signing off, telling you to have a happy new year and to also stay great, stay safe, be blessed.